What's up guys, Adam here and I am back for another video. A little while ago I did a video on me switching from this bad boy here, the Apple trash can, to the Mac Mini. It's been a ridiculous success. Now in that video I said, if you wanted to know more details, please let me know in the video description, hit the thumbs up button and I'll do a more in-depth video. And that's what you're gonna get today. You're gonna get a thoroughly in-depth video of my new setup, how I did it, a whole bunch of other little tweaks that you've probably seen on my social media. I'm going to go into detail into every single one of them and hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Now one of the main things that I've changed is these. I've got brand new monitors which I'm absolutely over the moon with. The other ones I've had for about 3 or 4 years I believe. They were 4K, they were great quality actually, really great quality. But what I wanted was a smaller bezel, and these have got a significantly smaller bezel. In addition to that, they're completely flat. They no longer have the bezel and then the display set a few millimeters back. And in fact, the bezels on these screens are about 1/5 of the size of the previous ones. So a noticeable improvement. The whole setup has changed. It's changed in my eyes anyway. Some people think it's subtle. I think it's significant. And let me run you through it. I've got a whole bunch of video prepared for you, so what I'm going to do is let that roll and hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, please do hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more videos from me, let me know in the comments, and yeah, enjoy. So here we go, and straight away you can see that the screens have made a huge improvement to the overall aesthetics. Now, not only have they made an improvement to the aesthetics, they've made an improvement to the viewing experience as well. With the HDR, they've definitely got better quality, and with that flat screen and that kind of matte finish they've also got as well, the viewing experience is greatly enhanced, and so is the practicality, and like I say, the aesthetics as well. Now, I've stuck with the same chair, which I love. Maybe I'll get a black version. Let me know in the comments, should I get a black version or stick with the white? And in addition to that, I've also done some lighting modifications as well. And I am absolutely loving these lighting modifications. Now, I went for an extremely cheap option. I went for a strip of LEDs or multiple strips of LEDs from Amazon, and I'll leave links to all of this down in the video description below. And then I also went for these tiny little dongles that Wi-Fi enable your LED strips. In addition to Wi-Fi enabling them, which means you can control them from anywhere in the world by logging into their version of a cloud account, it means that you can also link it into things like Alexa and also Google Assistant. Now, if you link it up to Google Assistant or Google Home, it means that you can change things audibly. So let me just give you a quick demo of how you can do that. Turn the lights to green.
Sure, changing 3 lights to green.
Change the light colour to blue.
Alright, changing 3 lights to blue.
Turn the lights off.
Alright, turning 3 lights off.
Now I absolutely love this feature, and you don't have to use your phone. If you've got like a Google Home device, for example, in your house, you can just say, hey Google, and then you can tell it to change the lights in the office, for example, and it will do that. And it's great. It works with Alexa as well. And these things are so cheap, it's unbelievable. At the time of making this video, and I will leave links in the video description, they're about £7 each, these tiny little dongles. You do need your own power supply, so do bear that in mind. Now, in addition to the lighting, I've also changed some other things as well. I've decided to go black with the desk. So I've got a black desktop from IKEA, and I've also gone with the grey drawers, which are like a kind of matte grey finish, and I think they look great. I've also changed out the keyboard, mouse and magic trackpad that I like to use to the space grey versions, and I think they look awesome as well. I love using both the mouse and the trackpad in collaboration with each other. I know a lot of people think that's not possible, but trust me, it is, and it works really well. It gives you incredible productivity. Now, What have we got in terms of the eGPUs? Well, I've got 2 eGPUs from Sonnet, and Sonnet makes some really fantastic products. I'll leave their website link in the video description. And inside these, I've got 2 RX 580 AMD 8GB graphics cards. Now you can put pretty much any AMD cards in these boxes and they'll work without any kind of drivers or anything like that whatsoever. I've got 2 because I need to be able to support 6 screens, and the outputs generally only have kind of 3 or 4 outputs on the GPU. They work flawlessly. You can even check out the performance of them in the utility monitor, and you can see which one's being used, which one's not, and you can even see the internal graphics and how little it ends up doing once you've got the eGPUs installed. Now I can fully edit videos. I can run 60 frame per second 4K videos on every single monitor at the same time, and it all works perfectly. Now, in order to add a whole bunch of extra ports to my Mac Mini and make them more accessible, I've used an incredible product from CalDigit, which is the TS3 Plus. And trust me, this thing is all about the plus. You get a whole range of ports on this thing. You get multiple USB-C ports, you get multiple USB-A ports, you get Thunderbolt ports, you get display ports, you get absolutely everything you could possibly need. And it's all built into this one tiny little box. And of course they do it in space grey because it has to match the Mac Mini. Love this product from CalDigit. Now, talking of CalDigit, I've actually got a significant amount of direct attached storage from CalDigit running over Thunderbolt 3. They do a device called the T4, which contains 4 hard drives that you can RAID in any configuration you want, and they are not only beautiful but insanely reliable. I've been using mine for several years with no problems whatsoever, touch wood, and in addition to that, they look great. Now, you can get them in a 2, 3, 4 drive version, so have a look on their website. I'll leave a link down below to check that out. And in addition to that, for all of my NAS purposes, I'm using a QNAP box. Now this QNAP box has got 3 levels of tiered storage, from M2 to SSD to SATA. And what that means is it means you can put all of the data you access regularly on the fast storage and all of the stuff you want to store on the slower storage, but you don't have to think about it. It just does it itself. It's an absolutely awesome, epic product, and I've even got an expansion to that as well, which connects up over Thunderbolt and gives you even more storage. Now, in total, I'm rocking somewhere in the region of about 150 terabytes of storage now, which does the job perfectly for me and is ridiculously fast. Now, a lot of the QNAP products are 10 gigabit as well, so because I've got a 10 gigabit Ethernet adapter inside the Mac Mini, it means I can connect directly to the NAS device over 10 gigabit, and I can get phenomenal speeds through that as well. So still loving my QNAP devices, they work great, and I really need to do an updated video on those, and if you want to see that, let me know in the comments down below. Now, in addition to that, I've also got a Zoom TAC device in the bottom which does all of my audio over Thunderbolt. I've got a 10 gigabit Ethernet switch from Asus, and I've also got a little Lexar Thunderbolt device, which means that I can plug all of my flash cards into it, plus it's got a little SSD device built into it, and I get extremely fast access to all of my compact flash or my C flash or whatever cards it is that I want to use, plus that little bit of extra SSD storage over Thunderbolt, which is really, really awesome. Now, one little tweak that I've made to my desk, which I'm absolutely in love with, is I've built wireless charging directly into the desk. So you don't have to have any cables whatsoever. My monitors are completely floating, there's no cables on the desk, and all I do is get the phone, put it down in a kind of rough area that I know where it is, and bang, it charges. Going through the desk doesn't seem to slow it down in any way whatsoever, and all I did was I drilled as deep into the desk as I can without interfering with the surface, and I put some wireless pads underneath. And if you want to see a separate video on that, let me know in the comments and I'll do that separately. It seems to work really, really well. Now, in terms of Wi-Fi, I'm running with the amplifier, and I have got a full video of the amplifier setup coming out because I've actually got about 5 separate mesh points in my house, and this product is awesome. The base device, just look at it, you can flick through it, you can see all of the information you need to see, and this thing, you want to leave it on display, you don't want to hide it. It looks absolutely great, and the performance is just as good as well. Now, another little tweak that I've made, because the Mac Mini doesn't have a microphone built into it, and I like to make phone calls through my computer and answer them as well rather than having to pick up the phone, I needed a microphone. Now, because I've gone for an extremely clean look, I don't want a USB microphone sitting on my desk or anything like that. So I actually went with a really tiny microphone that's designed for CCTV cameras. And what I did was I just plugged that into the microphone port on the cow digit, because the Mac Mini doesn't have a microphone input, and that enabled me to straight away place a tiny little microphone at the bottom of the monitor, and now I've got fantastic audio when I make phone calls. I've still got the Bose Companion 5 speakers, and I won't be changing them anytime soon. They sound absolutely sensational. I've had them for a very long time, and in my opinion, there is no better desktop speakers unless you start going crazy with speakers all over the place and amps and all that kind of stuff. But the ones that I use, the Bose Companions, they're just awesome. I've got them nice and tucked away. The bass bin is under the desk, all hidden. And the thing I love most about my setup is you can't see a single wire, which I love. It's perfectly clean. It looks great. I love the lights and the way they change and the way that I can get them to change with the wallpaper, and I'm just super pleased. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think it looks great? I absolutely love it. You guys know that I love my setups, and I hope you enjoy looking at it as much as I do. Anyway, that is it from me, guys. I will be back with more videos, 100%. Give me some ideas of what you want to see down in the comments down below, and I will see you ASAP. Happy New Year. Peace.